So as many of you may or may not know over on this channel, me and my friends, we get up to some bullshit, let's just say. Well, in today's video, I thought I would make one of the biggest companies in the world, Apple, look like absolute amateurs, all right? This video cost me a total of £65, and I know what you're thinking. No, I'm not David Dobrik. Nah, I'm just joking. But no, in all seriousness, if you could please smash the like button and subscribe. I really enjoyed making this video, and it would help me so much, and I could be able to do more in the future. But yeah, like I said, we are giving Apple a $1.3 trillion company. We're giving them a bit of photography competition in this video, let's just say. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy. Okay, so we are in an aquatic centre. Basically, I had an idea. I saw one of Peter McKinnon's videos where he basically recreated the, was it 360 cam wallpaper sort of thing that they use on their website. So we always get up to bullshit photography, so I thought, let's recreate a famous iPhone background. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the old iPhone wallpapers with the fighting fish. I'll put one on the screen now. We're going to try and recreate one of those images, but with our own sort of creative twist. So we're going to buy a tank, we're going to buy a fish, we're going to buy a backdrop, we're going to buy all the stuff, we're going to actually make our own photograph. Got all my equipment back at home, lights and everything. So right now we've got to choose the fish, choose the tank, and yeah.
34 pounder.
Blue, orange, purple, the white one. We do have a white one there.
That one's quite sick.
That blue one as well, I think is really nice. I got the white one there, which is Peng, and I got the black one there. I like the white one the most because it looks more like the iPhone background, but I also really like the black outline of the one on the tail, which is here.
What do we do, Ollie? I don't know, bro.
What about this blue one?
Yeah, the blue one's gas, bro.
Should we go for the grey one?
What one? That one?
Should we go for him?
That one's £19, that one's £25.
Okay, Ollie, I've come to a decision.
He's proper lively as well, isn't he?
I think we should go for, I reckon him.
He's sick.
I think him.
He's sick, bro.
Should we go for this geezer here?
Yeah, done.
Alright, so we need this. So for £34, I get fish tank, filter, lid, LED light, fish food, water treatments, and the gravel. So for anyone who is unfamiliar with these types of fish, they are called Japanese or Siamese fighting fish, and they cannot be put in the same tank as one another, hence why they're all sectioned off. But anyway, the people who worked at the shop were very helpful, and they told us how to properly care for him so that he can adapt to the new aquarium once we got home. Okay, so we're gonna go home, we're gonna put him in the tank, and I'll check back in with you guys in literally 2 seconds. So before we started taking any photos, we had to wait a day or so that the fish could adapt to the water in the new tank, as they are quite sensitive and they can die very easily if not treated properly. Okay, so the fish is in the tank. He's happy, he's set up. I don't know if you can see him there, just having a little explore. So tomorrow we're gonna set up a backdrop here, big black piece of cloth that we bought today, and then we've got all the lights and the tripods ready to basically go and shoot. So I'll commence this video in the morning. Okay, so it is the next morning. Fish is still alive. So we've cleared up some space, closed the blinds because you don't want any natural light coming in. So we're going to attach this velvet sheet to the wall by using double-sided tape and these sort of like metal clips. Basically, I don't want to damage the wall, so we're going to basically put it on with these like kind of double-sided sticky things which you use to stick wires under tables and things. So that's what we're going to basically use to put this on the wall. The thing is, we don't want the water to be too high either, or we don't need it to be too high, because the shots from the iPhone pictures is literally the whole thing is just black and it's just a fish. So we're basically going to have to do quite a lot of manipulation when it comes to editing it to make it look like the fish is just in some next dimension in space, basically. There it is. Turn that big light off. I feel like that might work a bit better, you know. After 10 minutes of playing around with the lighting and figuring out what would be the best lens to use, we soon realised that this wasn't going to be as easy as we hoped, as the fish is always constantly moving, and also none of us actually owned a macro lens, which ideally would have been the best lens to use for this particular photo. Okay, so right now we're facing just a little bit of an issue. So the photos that Apple use, the ones that we're actually trying to replicate, which are these ones like this, for instance, we're pretty much going to need a macro lens in order to do that, because we want to pick up all the fine detailing in the fish and the eyes and the tail, and the only way to do that is with a macro lens. The Sigma 35 35mm and the 85 that we've used are good lenses, but we really want to capture that whole sort of look of the fish and nothing else. Just have that completely black isolated background like the iPhone ones, and then we can capture all the detail in the fish. So we're gonna have to result into using a macro lens. So we're gonna try and rent one for tonight and see if we can go and pick it up, and then we're just gonna leave the fish there. Hopefully he's okay. So we're gonna go and try and rent a lens and come back and try and shoot this on a macro, because that is the only way we are going to achieve the photos that we want. So later that night, by some miracle, we found someone who lived pretty nearby who let us rent the lens we needed for 2 days, which was so lucky and allowed us to get the photo we wanted. And we are back, day 3, trying to get this photo of this bloody fish. Okay, we have the macro lens. Now we can actually get the shots, because yesterday we did struggle a bit. So we're gonna set up the light again. He's looking pretty happy at the moment. There are a few bits of like bubbles and things around the tank because we had to put some new water in to make sure that obviously it was really, really nice and clear. We are ready. So we're gonna set up the lights again and try and get these bloody photos. This macro lens as well, we tried it out yesterday, looks incredible. So this right here is our savior. Again, we're gonna turn off all the lights, shut the blinds, and have only the softbox going, because now we've got the macro lens. It doesn't really matter too much about which light we're using, but we're gonna try both anyway to see which looks better. So right now we just got to close all the blinds and turn off all the lights. Oh, yes. We have close. Awesome. So right now it's just pretty much a waiting game to wait for the fish to do some sort of cool movement or sort of swim higher up in the tank, because at the moment he's kind of chilling at the bottom. So we need to wait for him to go a little bit higher. We get no sort of obstruction in the photo. Oh look, it's going to the top. Oh, oh. Right now it's just pretty much a waiting game. So at this point we had to figure out what would be the best camera settings, such as our f-stop, shutter speed and ISO, to ensure the fish would be constantly in focus as he swam around the tank. So in the meantime, here's some sexy slow-mo. Okay, so after I'd say about 3 hours of trial and error and testing lighting, testing which looks better, testing ISO, shutter speed, shadows, we have finally found the perfect settings to shoot this on. Ollie, tell me what it is.
So we're shooting 1/250th of a second, apertures at 6.3 and ISO at 6400. It's the perfect mix of
Show me some of the shots we've got so far.
Everything's in focus. It's not too dark, but well lit. Nice background, no reflection.
Ooh.
So we just need to get them in the right place, boys.
Oh,
these are quite bang.
Ooh.
Crispy, bro.
Okay, so this is it. Oh, go on, he's going for it. He's going for it. Shoot, go, go, go.
Focus.
So me and Ollie took it in turns photographing, as we didn't know how long we would have to be waiting around for. Another 2 hours went by and both of us were extremely tired and close to giving up, but then all of a sudden this happened. Okay, so after hours and hours and hours, we finally managed to get one photo which we think
it looks pretty sick.
This one might be
the one.
The one. Very in focus. Scales are very prominent. I feel like bloody cameraman and Planet Earth waiting for a bloody leopard.
6 months waiting in the cold.
I'm gonna have a fucking beard by the end of this. So all in all, that photo shoot ended up taking about 8 hours or so to complete. We started shooting at I think 1 PM, maybe 2, and finished at 8:30. So we were there pretty much all day. A lot of the time when we go on the cool cosplay photo shoots that I do, we have a lot of control over the variables, such as like the location, the smoke grenades, the props, all stuff like that. Whereas in this case, we did not have control over the variables, which is hence why it actually took so long, because we couldn't control where the fish was going or anything like that. The only thing we could do is give the fish some food, and that was literally it. That's why we were waiting around for so long, so we could make sure we got that perfect frame so that the fish was just like kind of like swirling around and his tail was like going mental, and you know what I mean. So all in all, I think it was worth it. The 3-day shoot was 100% worth it. So we ended up actually taking 900 photos that day, which was pretty insane, to be honest. I think it was about 850 to be exact, but still, like 850 photos of a little fish is just, it's mental. When it came down to actually editing these photos, I didn't have a lot of work to do on them at all because we wanted that plain black background. So what I did, I just put them into Photoshop, I content aware filled the top part of the tank, and then put them into Lightroom, and then used the radial filter to give it that whole black background, because it wasn't like as black as I wanted it to be, because obviously the light made the background kind of a bit more visible than we hoped. But again, the power of editing, we just got rid of that background completely, and then I just stuck a preset on it, sharpened up the scales, did a bit of playing around with the coloring, and literally that was it. It wasn't the crazy edit, it was no like Photoshop manipulation or anything like that, because we pretty much had the photo there and then. Like once we got the picture taken, like that was like 80% of our work done. I did have a little play around with the color manipulation on the fish just to make it stand out a little bit more, as the lighting was very, very harsh at some points, and the color of the fish wasn't very vibrant, but he was the perfect fish in order to buy. He's actually still alive, he's over there. He was the perfect fish. His tail was literally the same as the ones that we wanted to use for the replication of the iPhone ones. And yeah, I have a new pet in my office. Seeing as what's going on in the moment with coronavirus, I am actually on lockdown. The whole of the UK is on lockdown, the same as Italy. So maybe this video can kind of go as some inspiration to any of you guys who are out there who are stuck indoors and have any pets like a goldfish or a dog or a cat or whatever pet you have. Might be a bit of inspiration while you're at home to do a bit of creative photography, or just, you know, get creative in general. It doesn't have to be if you haven't got a pet, or just creative photography in general, which is what I like to portray to you guys over on this channel. I'm going to be making a lot of videos from home at the moment, seeing as I can't leave the house. I can't go to London and meet my friends and shoot like I would usually do. But I think it will benefit me to be more creative of what I have around me, and I'm quite excited to kind of deliver you guys a lot more sort of personal content, and sort of we're all in this same boat together. So I think it's just important for me to just deliver you guys content and just keep whoever's watching me, whether you live in Italy or whether you live in Spain or France or anything like that, just being super engaging, just getting you guys out and being creative with what you have around you, I think is a really, really important thing to do at this specific time. And just with what's going on, I think it's important to keep your mind busy and just be as creative as you can. So guys, let me know what you thought down below. Do you think we beat Apple, or do you think we did worse, or do you think, you know, we were pretty on par with them? Because I personally think we did pretty well. I think we were equal to, seeing it only cost me £65 and Apple is a multi. I don't even know actually if those photos were real pictures. I'm still yet to find out. So if anyone does know if those are real pictures, like let me know down below, or just send me a message on Instagram or whatever. But I'll be really interested to know if they were actual pictures, because I couldn't find anything online about it. But with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy that video. A little bit of a different sort of edit style to what I usually do. But let me know what you thought, and thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay creative, and I will see you very soon. Peace.